Alrighty guys, well here is the Kroger grocery haul for this week. This is totaling out to $113.78 is what this totaled out. Let me show you what I got. There were some good deals this week, so that was exciting. And then what I'm going to be making with it. So first of all, a good deal if you buy smoked sausage or anything like this. These were $2.99, which they've been, usually the cheapest you can find them is like $3.50. So that was a really good deal on this. So I did buy 3 of them because we do use those, and those can freeze just fine, no problem. We did that chicken. Most of the Foster Farms stuff was buy one get one free, so I bought that. What were the other things that were on sale here? These 3-pack of bell peppers were $2.99, so that makes them $1 a pepper, which is good for the like the red and the different color ones. What else was a good deal here? The grapefruit, which again, I would rather just buy like one grapefruit, but I do like grapefruit. And the nice thing about citrus is it lasts a long time, so you don't have to eat it that fast. So it's nice, even if I'm the only one in the family who likes to eat grapefruit. This bag was on sale with a coupon for $3.99. So that was a good deal. What else we got here that was good deals? There was a coupon on the Bird's Eye, like for 50 cents off. The Bertolli olive oil had a really good coupon, so this was like $8.99 versus like $15.99. So, which again, usually, so that's some things. There were some coupons on the pastas. This became a $1.29. So anyway, so that's some of the good deals here. Let me tell you what I'm going to be doing with these things. And you might notice there's a few things that are like more name brand stuff because they were out of stock of the Kroger brand. So the sweet chili sauce, the Panda one, that was out of stock. The Kroger brand was out of stock. So I had to buy the more expensive one, which it stinks, but whatever. Life will go on, I guess. All right, so let me show you what I'm going to do with some of this stuff here this week here. I was really struggling with like, what am I going to make here? And I was just not having the like mental energy to figure that out. So I figured let's go easy. Let's make it life as easy. So I just got one of these here. This is a really yummy thing. And I'm going to throw on a can of like black beans and we'll just make kind of like a taco salad kind of thing. And then we have some chips that we can have with that chips and salsa. So you could throw some chips on top, make kind of like a taco salad. This probably will only make 2 meals, so it'll probably be a dinner for my husband and I. So we'll have to do that on a night that we don't, need leftovers for the next day. So there's that, but that's a pretty cheap dinner and it's super easy and it'll be tasty. You wouldn't want to eat that all the time, but that's good for every once in a while. I'm going to do it's like the viral Borson pasta recipe. I have made this once before and it was pretty good. Again, wasn't like a 10 out of 10. It was like a 7.5 out of 10. But as far as like the work level, it was like a 1 out of 10. It was very low work. So the flavor that you got out of it and all that stuff for the level of work you had to put into it was very good return on that. So if you need a quick meal and you need something you just like don't have to think about that much, that was a winner. So I'll try to post a recipe in the comments below for that. So that involves you cook the pasta separately, but then you put in a baking dish in the oven. You put the Borson cheese, you put cherry tomatoes, which I still have a bunch of cherry tomatoes left, and then I guess those are the only things you put in there to cook. You cook it for a little while, and then when it comes out, then you put a bunch of spinach in there, and you mix in the hot pasta and the spinach, and then you eat it. And I have some fresh basil from my garden that I'll throw in there as well too. So again, it was very easy and was pretty good. I would say one of the things that I was taking, again, I was being trying to do this all super fast and was just trying to think of something off the top of my head. But I was like, man, for next time, because Borson cheese is kind of expensive, right? That makes it kind of like ridiculous. Because it's like $5.99 or something, which is you can see it's small, right? Ridiculous. So I was trying to think, what what might be something that might be comparable? Like, what could I substitute in for this recipe that might give me a pretty good idea? And so I looked up, and it seems like maybe if I used cream cheese, and then just included some of these spices, so included, the garlic, the white pepper, some parsley, things like that, that maybe I could get. Again, it's not exactly cream cheese, but I'm wondering if I might try that next time, because again, cream cheese would be $1.99, maybe even cheaper than that if you got it on sale. So significantly cheaper, and if you get a good spice combination, you might be able to make it fairly similar. So I'm gonna give that a try next time, but for this time was easy and quick, and I can still make a big meal that'll have lots of leftovers for like $10, because between the Boursin cheese, which was like $6, and this was $1.79 for the spinach. You can see that's a big bag of spinach, and some pasta. Again, still that will fill multiple meals. Again, pasta could be even cheaper than that, but that's kind of my goal, is to try to keep dinners around $10, because that'll make a meal for me, for my husband, for dinner that night, and then again a little bit of food for my daughter. She's only 2.5, so she doesn't eat that much, and then definitely like at least another lunch. So $2.50 per serving is kind of where sometimes it can stretch out a little bit more, but that's kind of my general frame of reference where I try to get to. So a couple other things. What did I see here? One thing, this is not anything to do with like budget, but I did think it was interesting. LaCroix has a new flavor of water here. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if you were to take a guess here without Googling on the internet, what flavor would you say Sunshine is? And have seen sunflowers, all this kind of stuff. I'm like, I have no idea what this is going to taste like. Maybe I'm thinking like citrusy. I don't know. You should enter in the comments what you think it's going to taste like, because I have no idea what it's actually going to taste like. So there is that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that was interesting. Again, I'm trying to, like, every time when I put my groceries, sometimes it's nice to put the groceries out like this and just see. I'm looking for that, that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mostly I care about the 5, 4. The 5 vegetables, the 4 fruits. So let's see here how I did this week. I guess this would be 1, maybe 2, 3, 4, I guess 5. I think I did it. I think I got at least 5 vegetables. And then fruits here, we have the grapefruit, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I guess pineapple, I guess that's in canned, but yeah, so I feel really good about kind of where this is kind of lying along the health spectrum. I feel like there's a good variety of color and vegetables and nutrients and things like that. The only other thing I was going to say was that, yeah, so I like these things for that reason. What was I going to say? I don't remember. Yeah, so this is the grocery pickup haul. I hope this is helpful to you guys. I hope you're able to get lots of nutritious food to feed your family, and that you can enjoy cooking and spending time around the table with your family, and just feeling really good about where you are with your budget, and also where you are with just like actually putting things in your body that hopefully are doing good things for our body and not bad things. So again, I always feel really happy whenever it's like I can look at stuff and be like, okay, the not processed, not processed, not processed, not processed, really processed, really, really processed. Okay, but at least where there's enough stuff where I can say like, okay, we live in the US in, 2025, like we're not going to get down to zero processed food, but it does make me really happy to see, or even like, how Kroger shows their nutrition scores. I don't know if you guys have seen that. If you order online, you can see the nutrition scores, which is actually kind of interesting. Which, obviously things, I'm not sure exactly what the criteria is for rating it, but things like fruits and vegetables are 100, that's the gold standard. But what was interesting was like when I kind of compared some salads, that was, I thought, very helpful to see just like a quick, without looking through all the nutrition ingredients, because again, I don't really have time for that, but just to see a quick, this one's an 86, this one's a 46. Some of those, it was really interesting to see actually the packaged salads. Most of them are are very low in the nutrition score. I think probably because a lot of times with these packaged salads, you do have some added sugar. Oh, this one doesn't. You have a lot of fat, you have a lot of packaged sugar from the dressing and stuff like that. So, but that was, I thought, a helpful thing. Normally, I don't think it's like that helpful, but it is kind of helpful if you're comparing brands or things like that, and to be like, well, these bagels are an 86, these ones, oh, probably not 80. These ones are a 46, these ones are a 30, like just to compare a little bit, for a busy mom or a busy person. Like, I thought that made it just a tiny bit easier to have some sort of objective metric, to rate the nutrition on. Again, you may have different goals than that nutrition fact comes. But again, it's just a good general quick way if you're a busy mom to look at that and just say like, hey, okay, maybe this one's better than this one, and just go with it. And then like, okay, I'm going to go buy that brand rather than this brand. So hope that's helpful. Have a wonderful week. Stay in budget, and hopefully you'll have a lot of fun with your families this week.